Good morning. This is Miss Grace, and we have been assigned a social studies assessment on the Bill of Rights. So this video is going to be a long one. I am going to explain how I would do it. I'm going to read the article and the question, so please be aware. All right, so what you need to do. It is a cold read on the Bill of Rights. It is a not helpful piece of writing. If I were taking it, I would print out the first 2 pages if possible, number the paragraphs, highlight the first sentences, read, and then try to answer the questions. Maybe read it again before I try to answer the questions, okay? So I would print these 2 pages out if you can, if it's possible, or maybe take notes on a piece of paper when you are trying to do the questions. There is going to be an essay question, and I will get to that. All right. The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. The idea behind the Bill of Rights was to ensure certain freedoms and rights to the citizens of America. It put limits on what the government could do and control. Freedoms protected include freedom of religion, speech, assembly, that means to gather together in a group, the right to bear arms, that's guns, unreasonable search and seizure of your home, the right to a speedy trial, and more. Many delegates of the states were against signing the Constitution without a Bill of Rights included. It became a major issue in ratifying the Constitution in some states. As a result, James Madison wrote 12 amendments and presented them to the first Congress in 1789. On December 15, 1791, 10 of the amendments were passed and made part of the Constitution. They would later become known as the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights was based on several previous documents, including the Magna Carta, the Virginia Declaration of Rights, and the English Bill of Rights. Here is a list of the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment states that Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting, that means stopping, its free exercise. Also protected are freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, that means gathering in groups, and the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That is a fancy way of saying that you can protest. Okay, so let's see the next bit. All right. The Second Amendment protects citizens' right to bear arms. This is the amendment that has to do with guns. The Third Amendment prevents the government from placing troops in private homes. This was a real problem during the American Revolutionary War. The Fourth Amendment. This amendment prevents the government from unreasonable search and seizure of the property of U.S. citizens. It requires the government to have a warrant that was issued by a judge and based on probable cause. The Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment is famous for people saying, "I'll take the Fifth." This gives people the right to choose not to testify in court if they feel their own testimony will incriminate themselves. In addition, this amendment protects citizens from being subject to criminal prosecution and punishment without due process. It also prevents people from being tried for the same crime twice. The amendment also establishes the power of eminent domain, which means that private property cannot be seized for public use without just compensation. Simply put, that means that they can't take your house or your land without giving you what it's worth on the open market. The Sixth Amendment guarantees a speedy trial by a jury of one's peers. Also, people accused are to be informed of the crimes with which they are charged and have the right to confront the witnesses brought by the government. The amendment also provides the accused the right to compel testimony from witnesses and to legal representation, meaning the government has to provide a lawyer for you. The Seventh Amendment provides that civil cases also be tried by jury. The Eighth Amendment prohibits excessive bail, excessive fines, and cruel and unusual punishments. The Ninth Amendment states that the list of rights described in the Constitution is not exhaustive and that the people still have all the rights that are not listed. The 10th Amendment gives all powers not specifically given to the United States government in the Constitution to either the states or to the people.